Saturday, 6:01 a.m., my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I groaned, rolled over, and grabbed it. The screen glared too brightly for my tired eyes, but one notification pulled me fully awake. Motion detected at your front door, 12:07 a.m. Strange. I always check these immediately. I don't even remember seeing this one come in. My Ring doorbell app had a new thumbnail preview, a still frame of someone standing just outside my porch light. No movement, no interaction, just stillness. I tapped the notification and the video opened. Playback, 12:07 a.m. A grainy figure stood in the dark, just beyond the circle of porch light. Not on the sidewalk, not near the mailbox, right on the edge of the camera's vision. Just barely visible. I squinted and dragged the brightness slider up. I think it was a he, was tall. His head tilted ever so slightly like he was listening. No motion, no sound. I waited. 5 seconds, 10. No movement at all. Okay, I muttered to myself. Weird, but probably someone walking by. I tapped the timeline to skip ahead 30 seconds. He was still there. I skipped a full minute. No change. Another 5 minutes. Same position, same tilt. 10 minutes. 15. Still there. I watched him stand still for over an hour. At first I thought the camera was frozen, but no. I could see the porch light flickering slightly, a moth buzzing past the lens. Subtle movement, just not from him. I zoomed in. His head seemed unnaturally smooth, like he was wearing a hood or mask. His limbs looked a little too long, especially the fingers. His arms just hung there, loose and slack, like they'd been dislocated. Something felt wrong, off balance, too precise. My stomach twisted. I skipped ahead to 2 a.m. Still there. Same pose, same distance. Then I saw something new. At 2:41 a.m., the camera glitched. Just for a split second, the screen tore in half, static buzzed and resumed. I rewound, watched it again, frame by frame. In one single frame, his face was up against the lens. Mouth open, skin stretched too tight, eyes completely black. Then it was gone. In the next frame, he was back at the edge of the light, like he'd never moved. I froze. There's no way he could have moved that fast. The porch is 10 feet long. The camera logs motion. There was no notification between 12:07 and now. And yet there he was, inches from my camera, and back again. I pressed my finger to the screen. It felt cold, like the image itself carried a temperature. I skipped to 4 a.m. He was still there. I called my neighbor, Ben, who lives 2 doors down and has his own camera set up. He answered groggily. Sorry, man. Did you catch anyone walking around late last night? My doorbell picked up something weird. Ben yawned. I'll check when I'm up. Everything okay? I looked at the screen again. Not sure. Kinda creepy. Probably nothing. At 6:02 a.m., the footage ended. He simply wasn't there anymore. No walking away, no motion detected. Just gone. Like someone edited him out between one frame and the next. My heart pounded as I stepped onto the porch. There were no footprints, no scuffs on the welcome mat. The air felt heavy, like it hadn't moved all night. The grass beyond the camera's range was undisturbed. But I did notice one thing. The porch light, it wasn't flickering anymore. In fact, it was off completely. And I hadn't turned it off. When I tried the switch inside, nothing happened. Dead bulb. But it had worked fine on the footage. I returned to my phone and rewatched the first clip from 12:07 a.m. This time I noticed something else. The man wasn't casting a shadow. My porch light, even that weak LED, should have cast some kind of outline. But there was nothing, not even a faint blur. I tried downloading the video. The app crashed. I tried again, same thing. When I checked the memory log, the footage was gone. Deleted. Only the thumbnail remained the one I first saw. The still frame of a man standing in perfect silence. I stared at it, fingers trembling, and whispered, "What are you?" Then the doorbell rang. It was 6:14 a.m. I froze. The camera didn't notify me. No motion, no alert, just the ring. And then, your device is offline. Saturday, 8:35 a.m. I didn't go back to sleep. I just sat there on the edge of my bed, phone in one hand, coffee in the other, staring at that one frozen thumbnail. The figure's outline seemed to burn itself into my eyes, that slight forward tilt of the head, that uncanny stillness. I'd watched the video enough times to notice details no one else would. But now I was noticing new things. Things that shouldn't have been there. When I paused the clip at exactly 2 hours, 41 minutes and 16 seconds a.m., just a frame before the glitch, I could see something in the reflection of the window behind him. My bedroom window. My blinds had been closed, but in the footage the reflection showed them wide open and something inside, moving. I closed the app. I didn't want to see more. I walked around my house with my phone flashlight, checking every room, every curtain, every locked door. I even opened the attic hatch with a broom and peeked up there. Nothing. Silence. But the air felt different, not like it had shifted, like it was watching back. 9:22 M. Ben called me back. Hey, I checked my cameras. Nothing weird. No motion at all last night. I hesitated. Can I send you a clip? You'll want to see it. He agreed. I texted him the thumbnail, the one I'd saved before the file deleted itself. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then again. Finally he replied, "Nice edit. What is this? Promo for a short film?" My blood chilled. Edit? I didn't edit anything. That's raw footage. Come on, man, that face. Looks like something out of The Ring. Eyes all black? Pretty cool, but not buying it. He couldn't see it. I called him, now a little shaky. Ben, I'm telling you, he stood there all night. I watched it live at 3 a.m. Then the camera crashed. Then the doorbell rang. Silence on the line. Then, are you serious? Dead serious. I'll come over. 10:13 a.m. We reviewed the footage together, using my phone and a screen mirror to my TV. Only now the glitch at 2:41 wasn't there. We scrubbed the timeline back and forth, but the image of the figure pressing his face to the camera gone. Just a flicker now, like a normal buffering stutter. I felt insane. Ben leaned forward. Dude, this just looks like some drunk standing on your lawn. Creepy? Sure, but not supernatural. He stood up and went to the front door. Can I see where he was standing? We stepped outside. He stood at the edge of the porch, mimicking the same tilt from the video. About here, right? Yeah, but I stopped mid-sentence. From this angle, there was no way the figure should have been visible in the reflection of my bedroom window behind him. Not unless he was facing the doorbell camera, but staring through the house. At me, Ben laughed. Chill, man. It's probably just a guy on something. You said he didn't move for hours? Exactly. Then he probably wasn't alive. That shut me up. He went home after that, leaving me with that last disturbing thought echoing in my brain. 2:17 p.m. I reopened the app. I needed to see the thumbnail again. But the still frame was different. Same timestamp, same pose. But this time, his head was tilted to the other side. I didn't change anything, didn't re-upload. It was the same file. Yet the image had changed. And this time I could swear he was smiling. I screen recorded it immediately, just in case it vanished again. When I played the recording back, something strange happened. In the background behind the still figure, my neighbor Ben could be seen standing outside his house in the 12:07 a.m. clip. That was impossible. He hadn't come over until 10 in the morning. I zoomed in. It was Ben, same hoodie, same haircut, standing completely still in his own driveway, facing me. I turned off the screen and just sat there, heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I don't know how long I sat like that, staring at the blank TV. I thought about deleting the app, but part of me needed to know what came next. Needed to understand what this entity was, because it wasn't just a guy anymore. And I don't think I caught him on camera. I think he caught me. Then my TV flickered. Not the smart menu, not the screen mirror. Just black static for half a second, then normal again. On the floor next to the front door, I noticed something I hadn't earlier. A fine dust trail across the welcome mat, as if something heavy had been dragged across it. But there were no footprints, no marks, just a perfect drag line from the edge of the porch to the front of the door. And stopped. Right there. Sunday, 12:03 a.m. I didn't mean to stay up, but I couldn't sleep, not after yesterday. Every creak in the walls sounded like footsteps. The hum of the fridge made me jump. I was too afraid to close my eyes and too tired to keep them open. My phone sat on the couch armrest beside me. The Ring app open, screen dimmed, waiting for something. Anything. I watched the time. 12:01, 12:02, 12:03. No motion. But then, something buzzed. Not the phone, the doorbell chime. No notification. No footage. Just the sound. Ding. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. I felt like if I acknowledged it, if I even blinked, something would see me. 12:05 a.m. manual check. I forced myself to open the app. The live view connected slowly to slowly. When it finally loaded, my porch was empty. At first. Then, slowly, a figure stepped into view. Not from the sidewalk, not from the yard, from the side of the frame, like he had been standing in the blind spot all along, waiting for the feed to activate. It was the same man, or whatever he was. Same posture, same clothes, same tilted head. But this time his hand was raised. Palm open, pressed directly against the lens. I threw the phone onto the floor. I don't know why. Maybe because it felt like touching the image would be the same as touching him. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed the biggest knife I had. My heart was thundering so loudly I couldn't hear myself think. The doorbell rang again. Ding. No camera buzz, no alert. Just the bell. I crept to the door. Not to open it, never to open it, but to listen. And I heard something else now. Not movement, breathing. Heavy, wrong, as if someone was sucking air through soaked cloth. Not wet, but thick. The peephole was dark. Not obscured, dark. As if someone was covering it not with a hand, but with a face. I backed away, still gripping the knife. Then my phone buzzed behind me. I picked it up. A new notification. Motion detected 12:07 a.m. I didn't open it. I couldn't. Instead, I turned off the lights. Every single one. Living room, kitchen, bathroom. I even unscrewed the porch bulb just in case. Then I crawled to the hallway closet, shut the door behind me, and turned on the voice recorder app. Just in case I didn't make it through the night. 1:34 a.m., recording log, whispers. I don't know what he is, but he's not human. He's standing out there. Still, my Ring camera picked him up again. I can't trust the feed. It changes every time I watch it, like it's alive. I think he's learning, watching how I react. Long silence. Ben hasn't replied in hours. 3:07 a.m., another notification. I was nodding off inside of the closet when it happened. My phone buzzed. Motion detected 3:07 a.m. This time I opened it. What I saw still doesn't make sense. The image was upside down, and it wasn't my porch. It was my bedroom. The camera feed somehow was coming from inside my house. And there he was, standing at the foot of my bed, chill, head tilted, watching the blankets rise and fall, watching me. Only I wasn't in the bed. I was in the closet, which meant whoever he was watching wasn't me. It was something else. Wearing my skin, breathing like me, sleeping like me. I shut the app. I powered off my phone entirely. If the camera could see inside now, I wanted no part of it. 6 a.m. sunrise. The chime never rang again. I stepped outside the closet at dawn, eyes blurry, limbs aching. The living room window was open, wide. I never opened that window. And on the outside of the glass, a single handprint, long fingers, too long, smudged, not from oil or dirt, but from the faint ash-like dust I'd seen before. He'd been inside. I checked my bedroom. The bed was still made, neat, untouched, like no one had ever slept in it. 9:02 a.m. I called Ben. He didn't pick up. So I walked over. His car was in the driveway, lights on inside, door unlocked. I stepped into his house calling his name. No response. Just the low hum of static coming from his living room TV. Only it wasn't tuned to a channel. It was playing the ring feed. My ring feed. Same timestamp, same night. Only this time, Ben was in the frame too. Not just standing in his driveway, but standing next to the figure, mirroring him. Same posture, same head tilt, same black eyes. I backed out slowly, heart pounding. I don't think Ben's Ben anymore. Back home, 11:57 a.m., I reinstalled the Ring app, just to see. When I logged in, it showed a single file. Live recording playing now. I tapped it. It showed me. Right then, in real time, standing at the door, watching the screen. Then the feed flickered. Behind me, in the reflection of the TV, someone else. Tall, tilted, smiling. Sunday, 4:45 p.m. I didn't leave my house, couldn't. I thought about calling someone, reporting the incident, maybe even seeing a doctor. But how do you explain this? That your smart camera is replaying live footage of yourself in a loop that changes every time you hit play? That your neighbor may have been replaced by something wearing his skin? That there's a man or something pretending to be one who stands completely still for 12 hours straight without ever blinking, then suddenly appears inside your house? I paced my living room trying to stay sane. The air felt thinner now, the lights dimmer, and I could feel it like a pressure. Like I wasn't alone, even when no one else was in the room. 6:07 p.m., the app crashed again. I tried checking the live feed. The app opened to a black screen with a message. Now playing you. No camera view, no timeline. Just those words. I stared at it until the screen flickered. Then something else appeared. A video, but not one I had recorded. It was me sitting on the couch. Same clothes, same angle. But my eyes were solid black. And I was smiling. Slowly, deliberately. Like I was in on a joke I hadn't learned yet. At 6:30 p.m. I turned off the Wi-Fi. I ripped the router out of the wall, unplugged everything, took the battery out of the doorbell cam. For a moment, I thought it worked. Silence. No notifications, no flickering, no video. Until the screen on my powered-off phone turned itself on. No unlock, no app. Just a message. You're still recording. 7:01 p.m. The lights went out. Every bulb in the house died at once. Not a power surge, just complete calculated darkness. I grabbed a flashlight and made for the front door. It wouldn't open. The deadbolt turned, but the door stuck like it was fused to the frame. Like the house itself was holding me in. Then I heard it, the soft chime. Ding! The sound wasn't coming from the doorbell. It was coming from inside the house. 7:03 p.m. I ran to the back door. Same thing. Locked, fused, trapped. The flashlight started to flicker, and then he was there. At the end of the hallway, head tilted, hands dangling. Still. But this time he wasn't watching me. He was watching the ceiling. Like he was listening to something above us both. I didn't move, didn't blink. I just stared at him, counting the seconds in my head. 1, 2, 3. He didn't budge. But in the faint flicker of light, his smile widened. 7:06 p.m. The TV turned on by itself, static. Then a video began to play, a live feed of me from behind. I spun around, no one there, but on screen, the figure was right behind me. Closer than ever before. Closer than physics should allow. It didn't feel like surveillance anymore. It felt like possession, 8 p.m., I made a choice. I ran to the basement, smashed the circuit breaker, ripped cables, cut wires, crushed every device with a screen. But as the last bulb died and the house went pitch black, I realized something. The screen glow was still on my face. Even with everything off, even in total darkness, there was still light coming from behind my eyes. 8:12 p.m. I sat down to write this. I'm writing it on paper now, not on a screen, not through a microphone. Because I think anything electric lets it in. I don't know if I'm still me. I don't know if anyone will read this. But if you see a man standing on your porch, not moving, not blinking, don't record him. Don't watch the footage. Because once you do, he watches you back. We're at Monday, 3:13 a.m. I should have left. I should have run as far from this house as possible. But how do you escape when the thing you're running from isn't in the house, it is the house? Or maybe worse, it's in me. 3:17 a.m. the walls, whisper. No electronics, no power, nothing connected. Still, I could hear it. Static. Not from a TV or phone, from the walls. A soft, unending hiss, like 1,000 broken speakers whispering at once. It started low, like a bad radio signal, then grew louder, more intentional. Like it wanted me to hear something. Words began to form in the noise. Faint, cracked, but there. Don't turn around yet. I held my breath. Didn't move. Felt the weight of something just behind me. I ran for the door again. Still stuck, no matter how hard I pulled. 3:26. The cracks begin. I noticed them in the hallway first. Hairline cracks running up the pane. They weren't there before. The drywall split like it was opening. Something white pulsed from inside. Not light. Teeth. Dozens of tiny, irregular teeth lining the inside of the crack like a mouth pressed into the architecture. I backed away slowly. Every wall I turned to had one. Each crack grinned wider the longer I stared. One of them began chattering. 3:45 a.m. The TV returns. I smashed the TV last night. I know I did. The screen was in pieces on the floor. But now, it was whole again. Not just whole on, playing a loop. It showed me, standing at the hallway entrance, watching the cracks. But in the footage, the hallway didn't end in my bedroom. It kept going, and going. A long, dark tunnel. Something was standing at the far end. A tall silhouette with its head upside down. Not tilted, fully inverted. Like it had been rotated the wrong way on purpose. 3:52 a.m. Something crawled out. The screen cracked. From the inside, a finger. Long, white, smooth. It tapped the glass twice before pulling back. Then the static stopped. So did the wall noise. Everything felt completely still. I thought it was over. Then I heard scratching in the attic. 4:03 in the attic. I should have stayed downstairs. Should have run out a window. But something pulled me up there. Not physically, not forcefully. Just a whisper. A curiosity in my blood. The attic door opened too easily. The air inside was freezing. The insulation had collapsed, but there were no signs of animals. No rats, no insects. Just rows of TVs, stacked, humming, glowing in unison. Each screen showed a different version of me. One sleeping in bed while something watched from the closet. One smiling with black eyes at the dinner table. One crawling into the basement like a broken puppet. One screaming silently into the camera, hands bloody, eyes wide. And in the farthest screen, closest to the back wall, I was standing in the attic watching them. I looked up slowly, and so did he. The real one, not me. He stepped out from behind the final screen. No sound, no breathing. His face shimmered like wax under heat. Smooth, unfinished. Too clean. His mouth opened slightly and I heard the words in my head. Stop recording. 4:11. M. I passed out. I don't know what happened after that. I woke up in the living room, covered in drywall dust. The attic door was shut. The screens were gone. And my phone was back sitting on the coffee table, powered on. A new video was playing on a loop. Title, You Are Now Him. Yosemite and Ben returned. There was a knock. I looked in through the peephole. Ben was there, or something wearing Ben. Same tilted head, same smile. But now, he was holding something. A new doorbell camera still in the box. He left it on my doormat without a word and walked away. A nice 7:13 message from the app. My phone buzzed. Even though I hadn't reconnected the internet, the Ring app loaded itself. A new tab appeared. Update identity? Under it, 2 options. Yes, not yet. No, no. I haven't touched it. I haven't made a sound. Because I know the moment I press anything, this stops being a haunting. It becomes a transfer. The man on the porch doesn't want to enter. He wants to leave. And he needs someone to take his place. Monday, 9:03 a.m. I haven't slept. I don't know how long I've been awake. Maybe I'm dreaming, but the taste of fear is too vivid. The air still smells like burning plastic and copper wires. And the doorbell camera is back online. The phone I smashed, fixed. The batteries I tore out, recharged. The device, reinstalled, but I never touched it. 9:11 a.m., a notification appears, motion detected, 7:13 a.m. Same timestamp as when Ben, or whatever wore Ben's skin, left the new camera on the doorstep. I open the footage. It shows me opening the door to take the package. Only I never did that. I never went near the door. But the version of me in the video moves so naturally, so convincingly, that for a moment, I doubt myself. Maybe I sleepwalked. Maybe I'm losing it. Maybe I already accepted the terms. 9:33 a.m. I find a note. It wasn't there before. Tucked under the camera box, folded neatly. One line handwritten. You are free to leave if you find someone to replace you. The writing was in ink. It looked like it had been scratched into the paper with a nail. 10 a.m. Everyone acts normal. I tried calling my sister. She answered cheerfully. Said I sounded tired. Said maybe I should get some rest. I asked her to come over. She hesitated. You're not him, are you? I froze. What? She laughed awkwardly. Sorry, just had a weird dream about you. She hung up. The phone immediately rang again. Same number. But this time a man's voice whispered, don't bring her here. 11:45 a.m., the mirror lie. I looked in the bathroom mirror. I don't blink. I know I don't. I timed it. 3 minutes. Eyes wide open. No burning, no twitching. Then I smiled. Only the reflection didn't. It stayed perfectly still. Until it raised its hand and I didn't. I ran. I slammed the bathroom door shut. The lights in the hallway buzzed. My phone vibrated again. Reflection update available. Accept transfer, 12:07 p.m. The full loop. Same time as when he first appeared. I watched the earliest footage again. Frame by frame. He wasn't just standing there. He was watching the camera, waiting for it to notice him, waiting for me to notice him. And on the exact frame where he disappears, I appear. Not the me from last week. The me from now. Same clothes, same posture. Only my head is slightly tilted, just like his was. 12:13 p.m. I hear voices in the camera. I set the camera to record audio. Not from outside, from inside. From the static, a voice emerges, dozens of them layered like overlapping echoes. And all of them are mine, screaming, begging, whispering, don't let me out. Please, just let someone else see. You're almost free. 12:30 p.m. The final notification. Replacement nearby. A map opens. It shows the outline of my neighborhood. A blinking dot appears 3 houses down. My neighbor's kid, 7 years old. He's in the yard, playing, laughing. He doesn't know. He doesn't feel it yet. But the doorbell cam is watching him, waiting. I have a choice. I can press one button on the app. Assign subject. It would free me. Let me leave. The weight would transfer. The man at the porch would move on, would wear a smaller face, would wait for the next curious viewer. I hover over the screen, trembling. My face in the reflection now tilts with me, smiles with me, waits with me. Monday, 12:33 p.m. I didn't press the button. Not because I'm noble, not because I wanted to fight back, but because deep down, a part of me already knows there is no way out. The choice, the assigned subject button, it's just another test, another illusion of control. Because the moment you try to transfer the curse, you prove you're already part of it. 1 p.m. I let the camera watch. I stared into the lens, directly, intimately, like I was talking to it. I whispered, "What do you want from me?" The feed lagged. Then the screen split, showing two versions of me. One still human, the other fully transformed. Empty black eyes, wide mouth, tilting head, motionless posture, fingers too long. And under the image, you were always him. You just needed to see it. 1:33 p.m. visitors. There was a knock on the door. Not a ring, a knock. 3 slow, dull thuds. I peered through the peephole. The street was full. Every house had someone standing in front of it. Not people, not really. Copies, replicas, clones of the porch man. Every single one staring directly into the nearest camera. All of them tilting their heads at the exact same angle. 1:45 p.m., the final glitch. I closed the app, smashed the phone. But my reflection kept smiling. I taped every mirror, smashed what I could. Didn't help, because now, when I blink, the world freezes for a split second. Time skips. People repeat themselves. And my shadow sometimes walks in a different direction. 2:07 p.m., 12 hours later. It's been exactly 12 hours since he first appeared on my footage. At 2:07 a.m., he arrived. At 2:07 p.m., something inside me clicks. I feel a pressure behind my eyes, a static crackle beneath my skin. My spine straightens, my arms dangle loose. I stop blinking. The world slows down. I feel still, perfectly still. 2:12 p.m. A new notification. Motion detected at your front door, 2:12 p.m. I tap to view. It shows a young woman walking past. She slows, looks at the porch, at me. She notices the doorbell camera. Her brow furrows. She takes a step closer. She's going to tap it, watch the feed, rewind. And in that moment, I understand my new role. I am the man on the porch now. And I'm standing still for her. The end. Or is it just beginning? For someone else?